Hello and welcome back to this episode of Cox Community Connection. As you can see, we've made it to our Fort Walton Beach offices where now we're going to talk about some events taking place in Okaloosa County. The first of those is a fine art show that's going to be taking place in Fort Walton Beach. Joining me to talk about that is Helen Harris. She is the Vice President of the Arts and Design Society. Helen, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you for inviting us.
So tell us a little bit first about the Arts and Design Society. What is the mission of your organization?
We've been here for 50 years. For the last 40 years, we have been in 17 First Street, which is the historical building. Used to be the village hall, the fire department, everything was in there at one time, and we rented from the city. And we took it over, and our mission basically is to bring art to the people of Okaloosa County, Walton, anyone who wants to come in. We have over 200 members. It's a volunteer organization. We have shows every month where any artist can bring it in. We have a fee. You bring in 2 pieces of work, $25 for members, $5 more for non-members. We give out cash prizes for the first top 3. And we also have children's events throughout the year. We have an art camp for the kids. We have an art week. We have volunteers that come down and teach at different times. We have a lot of classes, workshops, which are for adults, and we have some for children. And we're trying to bring the art community together. There are several art galleries around, and we all work together and try to do it. But we are one of the largest on there and have been here for the longest time.
So is your building an art gallery? Can people stop by and,
yes,
and look
they can stop by. We're open Tuesday through Saturday, Tuesday through Friday from 12 noon to 4 p.m. and Saturdays from 1 to 4. And we have exhibits up all the time. They can come into the gallery. The classrooms, we have 2 now. One we kind of call the clay room, where we do most of our clay work in concrete, and the other one we kind of call the paint room, where we do more of that. But we have mixed and moved and so forth like that, colored pencils and whatnot. Those are not always open to the public except for classes. Okay. So it's not something we tour. We can take them around later, but we don't just tour around. But the gallery is open to the public at all times.
Okay, great. And you mentioned you have a lot of shows.
Yes.
You have the classes and shows, and one show that's coming up at the end of this month is a fine art show. Tell me a little bit about that.
We've been doing this show for 31 years now. It's a fine art show. In fact, Cox has very nicely made a donation to us to help us for this. What we do is it is for adults and it is for children. We have one category for just adults, and we hang up their artwork. They are permitted to bring in up to 5 pieces for $25 to enter. And we have a judge that comes in and judges them separately. And it can be any kind of art, from photography to painting to anything that you want to put in, collage or whatever. And then on the other hand, we have it open to the middle school and to the high school.
Oh, wow.
So the high schools come in, they can put up to 5 pieces, and we charge them $2. And same with the middle school. A lot of the art teachers, although a lot of art is going out of the schools now, so we're trying to fill in. The children themselves sometimes bring in their own work.
And I'm sure that brings in their families.
Oh,
they get so excited to come down there and show off their work.
Oh, yes, they love it. And we do give cash prizes. We give a first, second, and third prize in cash to not just the adults, but also separately to the middle school and separately to the high school.
Wonderful.
And then we have honorable mentions, of course, and so forth. They get ribbons. They all get ribbons for it. And so we're looking forward to doing it this year again.
And when is the fine art show? What are the
It
dates
starts
this year?
September 26th is when everybody brings in their work. Friday afternoon, 12 to 5, and Saturday morning from 9 to 12. And they can bring in their art, and then volunteer members hang it. And then starting then on Sunday, we have our reception at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which everyone is invited to. And that's when we make the announcements as to the winners.
The winners of the art
and
show.
so forth, yes.
Perfect.
Although I think all of them are winners, especially the children.
Absolutely. Just being able to showcase their work, I'm sure it makes them
They get a
great.
kick out of it. We do that in the gallery for the First Methodist Church and for Pyramid. Don't know if you're familiar with that organization. And we have done it for them. And they all bring their people in to see them hanging in the gallery, and it is such a thrill for the children.
Real quick, you mentioned a camp that you recently had. Tell me a little bit about that.
We have done this now for over 10 years. It's usually the 3rd week in June and the 3rd week in July. We have, again, volunteers from the organization who teach classes. We have a morning and an afternoon class. It's 2 hours each. We do a break where we have snacks and sippy cups of water. And the kids do different art forms every day. Monday has generally been a clay. They might do an acrylic. They've done collage. They've done colored pencils. They've done painting. And then they do something at the end of the week which is called something from something. And some of the kids call it garbage art.
Garbage art.
And they do this all week. And on Friday, we have a reception following the last class where all family members and friends come. We lay out the work based on the classes, and they all have some punch and snacks and then take their work home.
That sounds great. Can you give me your website real quick? We're out of time, but I want to make sure
Yes,
we get your website.
artsdesignsociety.org.
Perfect. Helen, thank you so much for being my guest today, and good luck with the Fine Arts Show.
Thank you. We're looking forward to it.
Stay with us. When we come back, we'll talk more seafood with the Destin Seafood Festival.